It's Friday, November 9th, 2018, 8:51 hours. Mike Christian here with Tyler Sexton. We're talking to Mr. Jose Barrera. Jose was present at 4450 Woodlet Court Saturday evening, Sunday morning. And we just want to talk to him and ask some questions, show him a few pictures. So Jose, go back to the beginning of this. What was the plan for the party? How did all this initially start?
It was a birthday party for Jean Myers,
Mm-hmm.
and that is her residence. The plan was for me and Tom Smith, the husband to one of the other invitees, guests at the party. We're just going to hang out in the basement, watch football, which we did until probably halftime of the LSU-Alabama game, which time we went upstairs when we heard there was food. We did leave at one point to go and get ice at the Shell station off Jottam down in 400, and we returned a short while later and remained upstairs for the duration of the evening.
Okay.
You're talking about me, you're talking about you and Tom?
Me and Tom Smith.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. Kind of go off on a tangent.
Sure.
What kind of food did you have there?
I had meatballs that somebody had made, sausage balls, just assortments of chips and crackers and little finger snacky type foods.
Was there like some gumbo or jambalaya or something?
There was. I did not have any.
Bread. Were there any dinner rolls, biscuits, anything of that nature?
Sandwiches?
Not that I can remember.
Okay.
So you and Tom kind of hung out downstairs mostly? Y'all weren't going to be part of the party initially, or?
Correct. It was initially pitched to me that Tom didn't want to be at his house because there was something going on at his house too, also women. So the idea was we'll just hang out somewhere. Well, I didn't feel like spending the money. I wasn't feeling so hot anyway. So I'm like, well, so I talked to John and said, can we just hang out in the basement? We'll stay out of your hair because they've got a huge TV theater room downstairs. So that was the plan.
I'm sorry, your girlfriend, who is she?
Jean Myers,
Oh,
the
okay.
homeowner.
Gotcha, all right.
So, who was kind of responsible for all the guests? These people that John knows, or?
Correct. I think if I'm not mistaken, I heard that there was an Evite sent out, and that was put together by Stacy Smith, that is Tom's wife. So I think we had dinner planned Sunday night, so kind of all week I've been low-key bugging John, hey, who's coming to the party, who's coming? Just trying to figure out who are you close with that I should have invited to this dinner. And it was a lot of, I don't know, Stacy invited him. But I think she I'm sure Jean probably gave her a group of people she was okay with, and then Stacy just kind of planned it.
So how did y'all know Tamla?
One of her boys plays football with Stacy's son and Jean's son.
Okay.
They're on a North Forsyth feeder football team.
And the birthday party was for who?
For Jean Myers.
Oh, it was her birthday?
Mhm.
Okay.
So what time did everybody start showing up Saturday?
I probably got there probably right at about kickoff, I think. So that would have been,
What time the game started?
I think it was like an 8 o'clock game-ish.
Yeah, let's see.
That's about what time I got there, and I said, hey, I'm going to put my bag upstairs in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And I went downstairs. And
Do you remember if Tamla was already there?
I don't believe she was.
Okay. Okay. So you got there watching the game with Michael Smith, and then go on with what happened.
Yeah, so we watched the game. We ultimately went upstairs. And everyone was just kind of moving about the common areas,
Mhm.
kitchen, living room, socializing. We did get to playing Cards Against Humanity.
Mhm.
That was probably the most collective thing with everybody that we did.
The game did start at 8 per ESPN. So
Okay. As far as interactions between the women, everything cordial, everybody happy?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So give me an idea about how people retiring for the night went.
We were attempting to play Cards Against Humanity, but between side chatter and distractions and
Mhm.
things, I mean, the game didn't last that long at all.
Yeah.
And then after that, people started to clean up. We were in the kitchen, just kind of throwing stuff away,
Mhm.
clearing the island. And I helped, I forget her last name, Marcy. I want to say her last name is Phillips. I could be completely wrong. But whatever Marcy's last name is. John was saying, she didn't have her kids this week, that particular weekend, so she had said, okay, y'all can sleep in this room,
Yeah.
y'all sleep in this room, and so I went in and turned on the TV in the only bedroom that is on that main floor, and Marcy and Jen Morrell slept in there. After turning the TV on for them.
What time do you think that was?
If I was to guess, I'd say about 1 a.m.
Okay.
and who was sleeping on the main level?
Jen Morrell and Marcy. Can't think of Marcy.
Was it like on the couch or on the floor?
No, there was a bedroom.
Okay.
on there.
Like a guest room?
Mhm.
Was
Yes,
anybody
sir.
sleeping in the living room area, on the couch or anything?
No, I mean, I don't think there was intentions for anyone to
Okay.
have to sleep there.
Okay. And then,
How many people were at this party? Do you know?
Can I bring up a group photo that they
Yeah,
posted on Facebook?
absolutely.
Because I'm ballparking 12 to 15.
And was it all women except for you and Tom?
Correct.
Okay.
I got a text from the solicitor's office.
I called him Michael, it is Tom.
Let's see, we got this picture. So this is one of the group photos that, to my knowledge, Madeline Lombardi took. So we're looking at 2, 4, 8 right there, plus Madeline, that'd be 9.
Tom.
Me and Tom would make 11. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else.
Can I get a picture of that?
Yeah, it's okay.
Can you send that to us? How about that?
Absolutely.
Just text it to me. Or you can text it to Tyler also if you're jealous. But 404
1 second. 404.
925 6845.
And your number?
404
Mm-hmm.
574 3618. Do you have any other pictures from that night?
I do.
I mean, just whatever it would be good. That would be
Yeah.
helpful, just so we can.
Yeah, I'll even kind of take this screenshot, which will show a timestamp that
When that was taken.
11:26, because
Oh yeah.
truthfully, Jen was the most intoxicated there,
Okay.
and she was just being funny, so I took a picture, but that would show 11:26. So yeah, as far as everybody going to bed,
Mm-hmm.
that would have been Jen and Marcy down on the main level. And I went down to the basement to grab my phone charger that I left in the theater room. And the staircases kind of obviously are right underneath each other,
Mhm.
going from basement to upstairs. So, I mean, I didn't really look at who was
Sure.
still up. I mean, I came up in the basement, shut the door, straight upstairs.
So this is a video.
Yeah,
Now, who is it she's talking to?
that's Jen Morrell, the blonde in the photo or the video.
And you said, was Jen, she was pretty intoxicated or something?
Yes.
So you said earlier that you and Jean had talked to Tamla right before going up to bed.
I think they had somewhat of a conversation.
Mhm.
I think something to the extent of Tamla not wanting her to go to sleep or like, let's stay up, whatever. I was not privy to that. That's just what Jean said, that they had a conversation, but I can't verify that at all.
Okay.
If that happened, could have been when I was down in the basement, but I never saw it specifically.
Okay.
When I came up from the basement, saw Tamla in the kitchen, just glancing over and saw that she was there.
Who was she with?
I just saw her by herself, but
Okay.
from that, I guess that vantage point from coming up from the basement, I mean, there is that wall there,
Mhm.
so I just kind of saw her through here, kind of up where the stove would be, but I can't see anything back in the kitchen, and then I just went upstairs.
Okay. So you went to bed then about what time?
Ballpark maybe 1:30.
Okay. Did you sleep through the night? Did you get up?
Not at all.
So you slept through the night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What woke you up the next morning?
Madeline Lombardi came in and knocked on the door. Jean and I were kind of coming out of sleep,
Mhm.
I guess, because I'd heard knocking, but it was kind of faint.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like, who would be knocking? I don't know what's going on.
Right.
And then, laid there for just a couple minutes longer, and then I heard it again. And then I told Jean, hey, I think somebody's knocking. She said, come in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Madeline Lombardi came in and said, I need Jose.
Yeah.
And I wasn't dressed, so I was like, all right, give me a second. Threw clothes on, sang for Jean, and then we went out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what time, did we say?
About 8:45, just before 9. I mean, because she'd looked at her phone at what time she called into 911, and we didn't really waste any time in going out and see what was going on.
Did she already call 911 when she woke you up? Or
I don't know. I think so. I think the first call came from Jean, and then she passed the phone to me.
okay. So from the time she knocked on the door, woke y'all up, till the time y'all were talking to 911, what's that time frame? I don't even.
I mean, she's knocking on the door. I need Jose. Okay, she said, I'm worried about one of your friends. And I was like, okay. She went out the room. Got dressed. And John was like, do I need my phone? I said, grab it just in case. We went down. And I mean, I just made my way all the way down.
Okay.
And
Where did she take you to?
back deck.
Okay.
So went out on the back deck, saw her lying there. Went down to check on her, and then told John. I'm trying to think if she was already on the phone. With 911.
What did you do when you went down to check on her?
Kind of trying to get her attention, like, hey, Tam.
Like tapping on the back, or?
Yeah, just hand on her back.
Yeah.
Like, Tam. And then there's no response. I couldn't, I mean, and I checked on her twice. One was that time when I wasn't on the phone, 911. And the second time was when I was on the phone, 911, and asked me to check. Can't remember if when I was on the phone with 911 is when I kind of grabbed her leg and moved it, and I was just like is she stiff already or not? But it was one of those two.
What did it feel like?
I tried bending her leg at the knee, and it just wasn't bending the way you would expect it to.
Okay. Did you touch her anywhere else or move anything else?
Just lower leg.
Just move her
Never
arm.
moved it.
Somebody moved her arm, because you told me previously that both arms were like by her side.
Correct.
Do we know who moved her arm?
I have not a clue. When I was on the phone with 911 and I checked, I'd gone back inside the house, and I stayed on the phone with them until Corey Miller got there. I walked him through out on the back deck. Obviously showed him what we saw, and he told me to stay upstairs, up on the back deck, and that was the last time I ever saw her.
Okay. What else did you do that morning? I think we talked about some cigarettes.
Right. So when I initially went out there to see what was going on, there was a loose cigarette and a lighter laying on the back deck, and I think just as OCD as I am, I walked out and it was just kind of in my path from the door to the railing where I looked out, and if I'm coming through this doorway right here, it would be like a cigarette and a lighter laying about right there.
Mm-hmm.
I walked up, set it on the fire pit, and just kept walking.
Okay. So you actually did that before you saw
Correct.
Tamla or anything?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have moved anything if I knew what I was about to walk up on.
Okay. Let's find that picture. Just for fun, if you'll come around
come
here.
over
Where was that at?
That would have been laying probably about right here.
Okay. All right. So basically, beside this chair on the short end of the little fire pitty thing.
Right.
Okay.
And then you laid it up there where,
Up on the fire pit, right.
on that left corner closest to us. Looks like where some stuff's at.
Right.
One of the issues that's been brought up is that supposedly Tamla was the only smoker there. Do you know, is that a fact, or were there other people smoking?
To my knowledge, she was the only person who smoked there.
Okay, but you don't know that for a fact.
Here's another better picture. You can just lean over here and see.
Yeah, that would have been.
Right
Yeah.
where the cursor is,
Right.
give or take.
As far as you know, that's her cigarette stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
But you or your girlfriend don't smoke.
No.
everybody was getting along, nobody was, no harsh words, everybody happy.
Yep. Truthfully surprising given the big gathering of women. You
Sure.
not necessarily expect it, but just wouldn't be surprised. But no, everybody was get along.
How was, you call her Tam, right?
Yeah,
How was she acting that night?
happy as could be.
Yeah. What about alcohol, drinking, like how?
Yeah, there weren't any, I guess necessarily like sad drunks or angry drunks.
Right.
I mean, everybody was
Happy
feeling
drunks.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. How intoxicated was she?
I don't think it was until that next morning when someone asked how much has she had to drink, and we looked over at the bottle of tequila that she had brought.
Right.
But as far as mannerisms that whole night, by all accounts, fine.
Do you remember her making a phone call to her family? FaceTime or something?
Mm-hmm. We were all sitting on the couch. I think that could have been during Cards Against Humanity because we were all sitting around, and I believe she was on a FaceTime call with her daughter.
The thing about her maybe smoking weed, did she smoke there at the house or somebody just heard that or what?
I'd heard that she had weed on. I couldn't
Okay.
confirm that at all.
But nobody actually saw her smoking, or do we know?
I truly don't. You just
Okay.
have to ask them who saw it.
Y'all the other day said that Bridget was probably the last person that was up.
Yeah.
Did
John Myers believes so, just based off the
now did
timestamps from the doors. And,
Bridget spend the night or did Bridget go home?
I think Bridget went home.
Okay.
I think Jean was able to deduce that she left around like 140 something, just based off that door alert, the front door.
So, and I'm not trying to put words in your mouth or paint a picture that doesn't exist, but basically it was a party and it wasn't like y'all set out to account for anybody's whereabouts or anything before the end of the party. Here's bedrooms, here's whatever.
Right.
I
I think for the most part, John was accounting for really everybody staying over if they needed to. I think a couple people like Sarah Cockerham and Nicole Lawson, they left, 10:30.
Right.
And then we knew that Bridget had her husband Gary pick her up. And
Who left early in the morning, like 4?
I think it was Marcy. That's what I was about to say. I think Marcy left 4-ish.
Where does she work at? Why would?
I have no idea.
Okay.
All I heard was she had to work in the morning.
Was she by herself?
Yeah.
She would. We think she just got up and left at 4 a.m. Just drove herself.
Right. All I heard is that she had to work, but that was my first time ever meeting her.
Can you think of anything that we have not asked that you think is important here?
Think of anything else to ask?
What do you think happened?
What I think happened? See, we've been out on that back deck, like, repeatedly just kind of looking like, how? And I've even kind of leaned over the railing myself.
Yeah.
It's not until I'm significantly over it that I'm coming off my heels and start to feel uneasy. And I'm thinking, if I was that intoxicated and I was was gonna throw up. I wouldn't need to really put myself over to that degree, because I mean, I think it comes up to probably about here. You know, I really have to put myself on it.
Yeah.
It's not like it's gonna undercut my hips and
Right.
my weight's gonna take me forward. If I had to guess, and it's really inexplicable as to why, I just could have been sitting on it,
Right.
but I just don't.
Had you ever seen her sit on it?
No. No. Well, okay. So I will say this that y'all forgot to ask. There was one point where, let's see, that would have been me, Tom, Tamla, Jean. I think there might have been somebody else out there, but I can't remember who. That they were trying to get the fire pit lit, and ultimately they couldn't get it lit. And I said, "Screw this! It's cold," and people went trickle back inside. So there was a point where a small group of us were out on the deck, but in no way was the deck any other kind of focal point of a hangout area for the party.
Okay. How many times did you see her go out there and to smoke or whatever?
Just a handful, I think.
Did anybody ever go out with her?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I think I'd just kind of be sitting in the common area and then more or less just kind of see her come back in.
Let her go. Yeah.
Yeah, so I never thought much of it.
Did Tom, he stay the night there?
He did.
And his wife was there?
Yeah,
Okay.
Stacy. And I think both of them slept in one of the upstairs bedrooms.
So if you had to guess, you're thinking the most logical thing is that maybe she sat up on the edge of the rail and
Right.
just fell?
Yeah, and Mike, you and I talked about that propane tank there. I'm like, did she step up on it to get up on the railing?
Yeah.
Did she kind of do like, oh, need to hop up on it? And go, I said, yep.
Is that, was that where the propane tank was?
I think it was, because I talked to Tom and I asked him about it, and I think when they were struggling to get that fire pit lit, they didn't know if it was a tank issue or
Yeah.
what, and he said he just grabbed it and slid it over out of the way.
Okay.
So that's my best guess.
All right, just to be blunt, you didn't throw her over the rail, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Any reason, anything that you've come up with or conversations with people that would lead you to believe that anybody would have done that?
Not at all.
Or any issue with anybody? With
Not
her?
at all.
Okay.
You know, I know that that's been some speculation and chatter, and I'm just thinking that nobody has anything to gain. There's it's just really inconceivable to the mind as to why that would ever occur.
It's just questions we have to ask.
No, I know.
And that,
I'm clear.
you know, it's well, yeah,
clear.
not that we
And I
think that that's what happened, but we
Right.
don't know what happened to her. So.
All right.
And I think everyone would be, well, I know everyone would be cooperative.
Right.
I told you, I think Bridget is the only one that
Yeah.
might need Gary, who was not at the party. I think he picked her up, and they might have some sort of timestamp as to, hey, I'm here, or whatever, or come outside. But
Is she the one that left at what time?
No.
so I think based off the door alerts on Jean's phone, like 1:40
Oh, okay,
something.
right, yeah.
That's what time it shows the front door opening, and then from what I know, Bridget is beating herself up, saying, I could have stayed, I could have done this. So
Okay.
she's the one that just might need her husband Gary here,
She was.
because she will be a little jumpy and frantic. Oh,
She jumped out of her skin that morning.
Okay.
Just Gary touched her, and I don't think she was expecting it, and she.
she yelped and jumped, and
Yeah.
yeah, she's the one that will kind of be just a mess, an emotional mess to it.
Okay. All right. Obviously, we know at this point we don't talk to anybody
Right.
about anything.
Right.
Had you talked to some of her family? Just what they've been coming up with a lot of information. A lot of it's just wrong. But had you talked to her, or who else knows her that might have been, or knows the family that might have been talking to them?
So Tom checked with her husband Lee Sunday afternoon after we knew that he'd been
Right.
notified by that time, and they just kind of felt like we need to go say something.
Yeah.
And so at the time when we were still at the house, nobody, including law enforcement, believed that she went over.
Yeah.
So
And I agree with that, and that based on all the information we had at the time,
yeah.
we didn't think she had.
I get that. And so I think, and I know everyone is wanting to believe or just not believe that something that tragic happened
Sure.
to their friend. So, when they went over to their house, they were just kind of like, look, this is more or less the events of the night. And, when we went out, this is what we saw.
Yeah.
And we have no idea. And I think it was relayed, we don't believe that she went over, based off what we're told. They're like, okay. And then I think when now that we know the extent of the trauma, I know that there's some, basically like, you guys are full of shit. You guys were lying. I was like, well, not lying. We're just telling you what everyone believed at the time.
Correct.
Maybe bad on us for misinformation when we don't know for sure. We don't know. We'll ever know. But so now that's
they see a change in the story, and that's
right. What the way they keep calling it like your stories, and I think even one of Tam's best friends, Diana, I don't know her last name. She's saying story, and we're saying, well, it's a statement, not a story. And even said, well, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, and that's about the point that like I got kind of pissed off.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like chill out. So they went over and just kind of, look, this is what we know, this is what we believe based off what law enforcement has told us, and this is just kind of how we found her. And Jean had even offered, like, does Lee want to come over to just kind of maybe get some closure? We don't know. We're just kind of throwing it up in the air, making the offer, and thus far has declined. He's not been out of the house, but some of her close friends and a close friend of his, they came out of the house Monday afternoon, and everyone was downstairs where she would have been, and same thing at that. Still at that point we didn't know the extent of the trauma, so we're telling them the same thing that we relayed to them from Sunday. That we thought that she tripped, and basically this is how we found her. This is the position that we found her in.
Have you met Tam before that night? Did you say?
I had seen her. So there was like one or two other. There was one football game that I actually ended up calling in the press box that I never spoke to her, but I saw her. Another football game, probably 4 weeks ago, and I think it was like the first time I'd ever actually like spoken with her. And her husband was there that one. That one was at Milton High School. And then, not this past Saturday where this occurred, the prior Saturday, they had adults and kids come over, sort of a Halloween party, carving pumpkins, that sort of thing. So this was probably like the fourth time I'd ever seen her, third time I'd ever spoken to her.
Okay.
How close was she with your girlfriend?
I'd say close as far as like, hey, we have kids that play sports together. Like, I know I like you enough, to at least hang out with you outside. I don't know if they have any kind of friendship beyond or years past or anything like that. I think the person she was closest with was Stacy and Tom.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say friends. I wouldn't say like best friends or call you up because I have an emergency, I need you kind of deal.
Right.
But friends.
Why didn't her husband come? What was the? Well, like it was all kind of girls except for you.
Yeah, and I think I know that they do have a lot of kids, and I think that was kind of what I heard. Like, oh, Lee had his fun last weekend, and I had to watch the kids. Now it's my turn to go out, so I think he was just at the house with kids.
Mhm. He was.
That's all I got, Mike.
What else? All right, Jose, we will end this interview. It's 9:26.